it fits nicely with everything that people are talking about with NGSS and Common Core, in that this is for all kids. So UDL focusing that this kind of learning and demonstrating their learning is for all kids. And one of the things that the framework for science education has been really strong to point out is that science is not just for the smart kids or the kids that think they're good with science. We need scientific literacy for all students, and to be able to access that, we need to use UDL strategies and tools so that kids are able to achieve to the highest level that they can. So whether it be accessing a particular text so that they can do some complex reasoning and critical thinking with that, to analyze it, UDL could be used to do that and help teachers and students with that. I think that whether it's how kids demonstrate what they know, also with doing a UDL lens, it's important to know that it doesn't decrease the rigor. What it does is it just allows kids to express what they know and how they can apply it. And one of the things with NGSS is the scientific and engineering practices. And there are 8 of them, and there are multiple ways that kids can apply their learning. And so that, again, aligns nicely with some of the concepts of UDL. So one of the resources that we're looking into, including more in our curriculum, is a free resource. It's CK.12, and it's an online textbook, but it's not textbook in the traditional format, in that students, first, it translates to any language just with the click of a button. So that's a really nice feature. The entire website converts in an instant. And then secondly, teachers and students can manipulate the text if it is a text piece, and they can highlight text, they can create their own notes right on the text. Teachers can modify the language and questions. They can insert questions within the text to help to guide students through it. The other thing is it offers multiple modalities for students. So sometimes things are presented in video, also with text. Sometimes there's actually interactives for kids to do different simulations with the same content. So that would be an example of how to help students access the text. So there's a lot of examples in middle school science curriculum, and because of the PBL nature of the course, for different units, kids are expected to present their ideas, and it could be different formats. So for example, they could create a model of a house, or they could create a paper that explains all the features of that house that they specifically included based on what they learned. Or it could be a Prezi presentation that they created on the computer. So the student choice nature of problem-based instruction really is what UDL is talking about, and allowing kids to express what they learn in multiple representations. Our office has really felt like UDL is kind of at the core of curriculum development, and so years ago we started providing professional development specifically for teachers who were coming in and doing curriculum writing, because it's important that all kids are able to access what we want them to learn. Therefore, that happens on the front end. So we've provided professional development on what is UDL, how do you embed that into curriculum, and our hope is that teachers see that, and they're kind of embedded strategies that they might not even be cognizant that they're in there, but they're in there purposefully so that all kids are able to access and have student choice within lessons. So for every curriculum project that we do, we provide that professional development to our curriculum writers up front. One of the things that we're going to work on in the next couple of years is really looking at assessments and formative assessments, and making sure that UDL components are in the formative assessments that are as part of the curriculum, because the idea of multiple choice items as the only type of assessment, or exit cards as the only type of assessment, we really try to push ourselves with curriculum writing. But there's a lot of recent research out, especially aligned to NGSS by the National Research Council, that assessment looks a little bit different, and not surprisingly, it looks more UDL in nature. So how do we put that in as far as accountability? But the other questions that are going to come up in the next couple of years is, what's the state going to do with that? What are state assessments going to look like that have more UDL focus to them, that allow some more student choice, or how students are able to demonstrate what they learn? So we want to make sure that we're doing that in the classroom, and then that aligns with what the state is doing. And I think some of the research that's recently come out really supports it. It's just until we see some more models, which everybody nationally is kind of working on right now for science, what that looks like. So over the next couple of years, we're going to more flesh out what that looks like.